Hello, my goblins and ghouls. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Carly. Welcome. Now, I meant for this video to be up on Valentine's Day, but I got the stomach flu. When you're going to school to work in education, they don't really tell you and they don't really warn you that you're gonna get sick a lot. A lot. I have not felt that bad in a long time, but I'm finally feeling a lot better. So in the original intro of this video, I had talked about Valentine's Day and my microphone had stopped recording and I didn't realize it, so the audio was off. Later on in this video, you're gonna hear the original quality of the camera microphone, which is not as good as my desktop microphone. So I decided to scrap that intro and instead do a new one. I have the same products on my face, the same look on my face as I do in the first part of this video, but then I wanted to make this a 2-in-1 video where you can do this look, which is soft, romantic, pink, cute, flirty if you want, but then you can also add a couple little things to zhuzh it up a little bit more. It's not a lot of steps. There's technically, I think, only 3 extra that I do, but I think it makes a world of difference because honestly, with makeup, usually less is more. So I'm going to give you some options in this video for if you want to do something soft and sweet like this. Ooh! Or if you want to do something a little bit more spicy. So bear with the audio in this video. I will try my best to continue to check the audio in further videos so this doesn't happen again. I tried my best to fix it, to make it sound a little bit better. It still is a little tinny, but I did what I could. I am not a sound tech by any means. So if you're interested in this look and how it can be a little bit edgier, then just keep watching. Starting off with primer, we're going to be using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade 1 Fair. I find that this adds some glow underneath foundation while providing a titch more coverage. I've also used this as a liquid highlighter on top of foundation and I really like it. You'll see I'll use quite a bit here. We're gonna just go in with our hands and rub that in. Adds a healthy glow. This product is really versatile. You can use it in so many different ways. You can use a darker shade as a bronzer. Obviously, like I said, you can use it as a liquid highlighter on top of foundation. You could use it under as a primer. You could also use it as a standalone foundation. I know people do that too. It's awesome. For foundation, we're going in with the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer from ColourPop. This is in the shade Light 6W. I like to apply tinted moisturizers with brushes because I find it gives me more coverage than if I had used a damp sponge. Sponges tend to soak up a little bit extra coverage, so if you're looking for, you know, obviously a tinted moisturizer is lighter coverage than a full-on, full coverage foundation, but if you're like me and like a little bit more evening of the skin tone, that's a tip from me. I am just using the Real Techniques Buffing Foundation brush. We're trying a couple different things with my lighting today. Let me know what you guys think. If it's better, if it's worse, I can always do a little bit of color correction in editing, but mainly the biggest thing that I have changed is I put the overhead light on to hopefully light up the background a little bit more. And then I moved one of my side lamps to the front, further back, so it maybe looks a little bit more evened out. Concealer, nothing new. The e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in Medium Peach. We're gonna use that underneath our eyes. I've been liking putting like a dot here by my nose too. I have some redness and unevenness right there. And then of course on my little spots, because I swear this always happens. Anytime I'm like, oh my God, my skin looks amazing. And my partner will be like, yeah, it looks really good. You don't have any active breakouts. It's almost like hours later. They're like, but we're still here. Then we're going to use a cream blush. This is the shade Heliotrope by Rose Inc. Before I show you this product, I have to warn you because I can't look at it the same way now. Many people have compared the component here to a toilet seat. Yeah. Can't unsee it now, can ya? As I said, this is the shade Heliotrope. I've been looking forward to trying this product because they sell refills, so you keep the compact, the toilet bowl component. And then once you're done with this, or it's old or whatever, you can pop that out and then put a new shade in. Going in with my sculpting brush from Real Techniques, we're just gonna apply that to the high points of my cheeks. This is a very natural looking, they say apricot shade of blush. I don't think it's really apricot on my skin tone. I think it's a little bit more peachy pinky, but it is cute. I think it's perfect for Valentine's Day if you're anywhere near my skin tone. God, I'm wondering why my skin feels so good and smooth and my foundation looks really good. The reality is I dermaplaned my face last night. What I really did was I just shaved off my peach fuzz. But everything lays so much smoother on the skin. I like to add a little bit on the sides of my nose here for my blonde tour, of course, and then across my nose. There's the skin so far. You don't have to set with powder. I will, because again, like I've mentioned before, I don't like the feeling of cream being able to move on my face. I like it to feel a little bit more set down. With that e.l.f. Halo Glow underneath, you might not even need a highlighter. But as usual, to set my face, underneath the eyes, I'm going to be using the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. And then for the entirety of my face, the e.l.f. HD Powder. This one is in the shade Soft Luminance. This has a little bit of shimmer to it. If you don't like that look on your skin, I would recommend the sheer one from e.l.f. I think Rare Beauty just recently came out with a setting powder that is similar to this, and that there's some like microfine glitter in there. Maybe this is a dupe. I don't know. Tapping this on my face so I don't disturb the product underneath. Then for highlight, we're using the Nomad Kiss of Sun highlighter in the shade Balmoral Beach. This is a beautiful peachy pink golden undertone highlighter that has quite a punch to it. Let me swatch it for you here. This is really, I want to say powerful because it is intense. So here I'm going to blend out a swatch a little bit more, and then I'll do just a stripe on my hand. So on the top here, it's a little bit more diffused, and then there's that line. So with this product, I'm going to dip in with my brush, but then wipe off some excess on my hand. Lately, what I've been doing with highlighter, especially powder highlighter, is instead of doing just a strip down my cheek kind of diagonally, I've been focusing more in the, I believe it's the orbital socket, orbital bone area. So more of a circle here. So then I will do more of a rounded look right there. Add a little bit here in my eye socket towards the tear duct, and then up here above the brow bone. And then of course, down the tip of the nose and on the Cupid's bow. Even just tapping off a lot of that product and continuing to buff it into the skin, you can see just how intense and stunning this highlighter is. Going to spray my face with the Pacifica Cherry Matte Setting Spray. I don't find that this dries particularly matte, so if you still want that kind of glowy dewiness, this product is not going to take that away from you. To prime the eyes, we're using the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. And then we're setting it with that Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder again. Now I'm just going to fill in my brows really quickly with the Milani Precision Brow in the shade Medium Brown. This part is always the most boring, and for me, anxiety inducing, because I hate filling in my brows. I'm not good at it. I've just got really misshapen brows. I had a bout of Bell's palsy in high school, so this half of my face was completely paralyzed. Like I couldn't blink. I was playing the clarinet in high school and I couldn't do that because this part of my mouth wouldn't close. So I'd be like trying to play like this. All the air would escape out of this corner of my mouth. Like I literally had to tape my eyes shut when I went to sleep, and then throughout the day use rehydrating drops because I couldn't even blink. It would be like this. So this half of my face tends to sag a little bit more than this side. I wonder if that's genetic, because from what I remember hearing from my doctor when I was finally diagnosed with it, it's actually the opposite side of your neck, a nerve gets pinched. And so a nerve somehow got pinched here on this side of my neck, thus wrapping around and paralyzing that side of my face. Which I wonder now, thinking about that, I get migraines, I get tension migraines, and they typically stem from the base of my neck and are almost always only on my right side. I wonder if that has anything to do with that. I've never made that connection. Huh, interesting. But I wonder if it's genetic, because my mom had it as well. She has some lasting effects from her bout too. And that's the only thing that I really have left over from it, is just this side is a little bit more droopy. Okay, let's zoom you in for eyes. As always, we are using the Essence Silky Nude in the waterline. For eyeshadow, we're going to be using the Milani Gilded Nude eyeshadow palette. One of the two videos that I recorded and edited before I posted my first one back to YouTube was a review of a lot of new products to me, and this was one of them. I was not super impressed when I first got it, but I have since fallen quite in love with it. I use it quite often. A lot of the shades look similar, but then you put them on your eyes and they have a little bit of a different undertone. Taking a big fluffy brush, just going into me time, we're gonna put that all in our crease and a pencil brush underneath the eye. We'll see if I end up posting at least that video. I did like how it turned out, but I have been using some of the products in there that were first impressions to me in that video, such as the Milani eye pencil and this eyeshadow palette. So it might feel like it's in the wrong order. It would be. I will say these powders are quite powdery. There's a lot of kick up in the pan. So that's something to be aware of, especially if you're using the shade Detox. That tends to fluff everywhere, and that's a glitter shade. So either do your eyes first or maybe lay down a layer of powder underneath your eyes to catch that fallout you can sweep away later. Next, we're going to go in with a little bit more of a dense brush with the shade Add to Cart and use that in the outer V of our eyes, and then tightline the bottom waterline. Since this is more of a sweetheart gentle look, we're not going to be going too deep with eyeshadow, but I promise you, I'm going to give you some options to spice things up a notch. In the brow bone, I'm going to be using the shade Weekender just to provide some highlight. If you would like to add a darker shade or two in the outer corner, feel free to do so. They do have a couple darker ones in this palette, but we're going to move on to the majority of the lid. Of course, more phytosurgeons. The first shade I'm going to be using is the shade Potent Petal. This is their Flash Fluorescence Cream Shadow. And this shade is a peachy pink, so it's perfect for this kind of look. There it is in the pot, and I'm going to swatch it now. I'm going to start off with a rounded square shader brush and sweep this all over the open lid. Then I'm going to add a little bit more with my finger, especially closer to the lid. Or to the lash line. I find I have a hard time getting shadow applied directly like above my lash line unless I use a finger. So there's that so far. Pretty peachy pink. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more of the shade Add to Cart to make sure I have a little bit more of that definition above in my socket here. Now for a glitter topper, another Flash Fluorescence eyeshadow from Phytosurgeons. This is in the shade Fractal Freesia, or Freesia. I don't know how some people say it. This is a glitter topper shade, so there's not much color to this product. It is warm, has a golden undertone there, but I think you can apply this to numerous shades of eyeshadow and it's just going to be gorgeous. So as you can see, it doesn't really have much color on it standalone, but there's Potent Petal on top and Fractal Freesia. And this one I am going to go in directly with my finger. I'm going to tilt my head back because then I get more purchase of my eyelid. And then also sometimes the glitter will on my face, and so tilting my head back helps prevent a lot more from falling down. Of course, if you want to be a little bit more precise with this, you could use a brush. All right, and that's with the Fractal Freesia on top. You can stop here. I'm going to add some liner. I'm just using the e.l.f. Precision Liquid Eyeliner, and I'm going to do a wing. Oh, I never applied inner corner highlight. We're just going to go in with our highlighter, the Nomad product, and then put that in the inner corner here. Oopsies, if I don't use Kush, I always forget, because Kush is superior. It is the champ of inner corner highlight. That's better. I was wondering what was missing. I knew there was something. For mascara, nothing new. CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara. Now for lips, we're going to do something super simple and just use a pigmented gloss. This is the Ilia Balmy Gloss in the shade Only You. This is not a typical color that I would wear, but I tried it and it looked pretty smoothing and good on my lips. It is a pigmented gloss, so be careful about smudging it all over your face. I do feel like it was pretty smoothing. So here's the finished look. The balm is pretty pigmented, but also very smoothing and evening out. Again, not a color I would normally wear, but it works really well with all these colors. But let's kick it up a notch, shall we? Okay, so to spice things up a little bit, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Mostly what I'm going to be doing is applying a half lash. I had some cosmetic glitter on my eyes, not in this order. And then we're going to be over lip lining our lips and applying the same gloss on top. So it's really not a lot of difference, but it might make a bigger impact, or it might be just that like subtle oomph that will make you feel a little bit more comfortable or sexy or whatever. First of all, let's do some glitter. This brand is called Slayfire Cosmetics. They are an indie brand, and I have turned so many of my friends onto this brand. The glitter is fantastic. It's biodegradable, washable. It's eye safe, which oftentimes cosmetic glitter is not typically eye safe because the fear is it'll fall in your eye and scratch your eye, and that's terrifying in and of itself. And then also the fact that it's biodegradable is super important to me. I'm trying to make less of an impact on the environment. I know I'm not perfect, but every little step helps. So I've amassed quite a collection of these glitters. I'm going to swatch 4 of them for you that I think would be good with this look or similar looks to this. And what's nice is that there's glitter glue built into the product. So you can just swipe it on and it'll stay basically all day. Although she does sell, the owner of Slayfire Cosmetics sells like a, I forget what she calls it exactly, but it's like a mix-in medium that you can use to make it stickier, or if it's dried out, make it sticky again. Otherwise, what I've done with stuff that's dried out like this is used a gripping primer mixed in. I have the Cover FX gripping primer, so I'll just mix in a teeny tiny bit of that with some of my more dried out glitters, and it'll help it stick. First glitter I'm swatching here is Persephone. I think this is the one that I will be going with on my eyes. Now, if you do want to go to the glitter route right away, you wouldn't necessarily have to apply Fractal Freesia to the lid. That was more so just if someone doesn't want to do glitter. That is a good way to have some of that shimmer and multidimensionality to your eye. So here is Persephone. In some lights it's pink, and in other lights it's teal. Another one in the same kind of color family is Glinda.
It's Linda.
Is anyone else super excited for the Wicked movie? I had the privilege of being able to see that on Broadway my senior year of high school, and I think that's when I finally admitted to myself that I absolutely adore musicals. There's a specific condition out there, I forget what it's called, but I have it. I think self-diagnosing is always dangerous, don't do it, where if I hear music, really good music or really melodic music or like a great harmony, I will literally get goosebumps and my hair will stand on end. And it's like almost instant. Like for example, at work, sometimes we listen to a song from The Greatest Showman, which I haven't watched yet, which I know I need to. My favorite movie of all time is Moulin Rouge, if that tells you anything. But we play it for the kids sometimes. And as soon as it starts, like my skin, like I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it. My skin will start to prickle and my hair will go, whoop. Anyway, this is Glinda. This is much more of an iridescent glitter compared to Persephone, which is more of a duochrome. So you've got Persephone on top there. There's Glinda, and it's a smaller glitter particle glitter. Next up are 2 more pink ones. If you have a brighter, more punchy pink, maybe on your eyes, your cheeks, or your lips, these would be a good pairing for that. So this one is Radioactive. So this one is more of a peachy pink with kind of a green flip to some of it. And then the last one I'm swatching for you here is Party on Venus. This one is a cooler toned pink with more of a blue flip. And this one has bigger glitter particles to it. So there's Party on Venus. We've got Persephone, Glinda, Radioactive, and Party on Venus. Like I said, for my preference today, I'm going to be using Persephone on the lid. If you are going the route of using glitter, I would recommend doing so before you put on mascara and liner. I've not had issues with putting liner on top of this glitter. It's honestly a stunning product, and it's like witchcraft how amazing this is. Let's zoom you in for this. Up close and personal. So much like I did with Fractal Freesia, I'm just taking some of my finger and I'm going to tilt my head back so I have more lid space available. If you want more precision, feel free to use a brush. I would recommend maybe a silicone brush with this product. And then while I still have my head kind of tilted back, I'm going to take that same brush that we used first for the original shade and just kind of slowly, but more intentionally swipe away at some of the glitter in my crease. But there's the glitter. Now I'm going to prep some half lashes to put just in the corner of my eye. If you're just starting out with lashes, or if you want, again, like a more romantic light look, I would recommend doing a half lash. Some companies do make specific half lashes, and what that means is just that they're smaller. So instead of encompassing the entirety of your eye, it's going to be like 2/3 to maybe 1/2 of your eye. Otherwise, you can take a pair that you really like and kind of just snip them in half. For example, I have the Ardell Faux Mink lashes in the style 852, and you can see I've already chopped these up, but I'm just going to be using this outer half there. For lash glue, this time around I'm going to be using the Lash Couture Super Strong Strip Lash Adhesive, and this is black. Typically, I would use a clear, especially if you're not wearing liner, but because I do have winged liner on and this is only a half lash, I feel a little bit more confident in putting it on black glue. And while I'm waiting for the glue to get tacky on that, let's do a little bit more with the lips. Again, mostly all that I'm doing in addition to the last look is just putting a lip liner underneath the lips. I also want to overline a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, no additional product, blank out my lips a little bit more with whatever is left of that tinted moisturizer. And then I'm going to be using the NYX waterproof retractable lip liner in the shade Nude. All right, let's attempt to apply this half lash. And then while the other half lash is drying, we're just gonna go back in with that Ilia gloss over the lip liner. All right, and this is the finished extra look. Again, only a couple extra steps, but I think you can tell side by side kind of a big difference. I just washed my hands with regular hand soap and water, and as you can see, the glitter is completely gone. I didn't even have to scrub like hard at all. Highly, highly recommend that product. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Whether you're celebrating with your partner, partners, or yourself, I hope you're able to do something fun. Do something for you, too. I think everyone gets wrapped up in Valentine's Day. You know, obviously you want to be thankful for your partner, but you are also part of that equation. You wouldn't have a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you, if you weren't in it too. Make sure to value yourself during this day because it is a celebration of love, and I hope you have some love for yourself. Comment down below something that you're going to do today. You know, it could be related to Valentine's Day, maybe not. We plan to go to a taco place, our favorite, at least my favorite taco place. This year, Valentine's Day is on a Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, bitch. Ah! And also, if you could give this video a thumbs up, that would be very helpful in helping these videos reach more people. I would love to grow our community here. And as always, I hope you are able to treat yourself with the same kindness that you so easily give others. Thanks, guys. Bye. Then we're going to use a flat. So much flatter. Flatter. This one is in the shade. This one is in the shade Soft Luminance. This one is in the shade Soft Luminance. That doesn't sound right. Like, I want to keep wanting to say luminous, but luminance. There goes fucking furnace. Hey, gross. I'm so bad. Squeeze the jelly from your eyes. Hot. I made my family disappear. I made my family disappear. Ah, that was my butt. That was my tailbone. This feels so crazy. So I decided... Are we recording on all fronts? I believe yes.
It was, in fact, not recording at all.
This is their Flash Fuller. God, I cannot ever say this. Every fucking time I get mascara or eyeliner in a place, I don't want it. The CoverGirl Exhibitionist. Excuse me, I had a glitch in the system there. There was a glitch in the Matrix. The most arduous process is me just fucking applying mascara. So get it on front. let's do a... Excuse you. What's the other one that kids are doing nowadays? This one? So dumb. I hate this one so much. Whatever, we're done. Also, this entire video has been related to Valentine's Day, but I just so happen to be wearing... Excuse me. I'm very pale right now. It's fine. Halloween boxers. Would you just look at it? Would you look at that? Just look at it. You can tell where my priorities lie.